Did you or did you not decriminalize public urination in
No,
Washington, D.C.? Did you lead the charge to do so?
No, the revised criminal code left that as a criminal charge.
Did you lead the charge to decriminalize public urination in Washington, D.C.?
No, ma'am.
Did you ever vote in favor of decriminalizing public urination in Washington, D.C.?
The revised criminal code that was passed by the council
Did you ever support?
kept it as a criminal offense.
And you support this?
I voted for it, yeah.
You voted to keep it as a criminal offense.
That's correct. The full council did.
I lost count. I started, then I kind of lost interest. About 6 to 7 times, Lauren Boebert wanted to know about urine and whether or not this guy was in favor of public urination, which he answered 6 to 7 times right back that no, that's actually not the case. Another representative later on pointed out that this was a ridiculous exchange, but Lauren Boebert still wanted some parts of that conversation too. This was a funny part. Watch.
They're choosing to waste our time by meddling in the District of Columbia and talking about public urination over and over. Just want to make sure, do you have anything additional you want to say about public urination? Now's your time.
I do.
No, not you. I'm talking to, it's not your time. It's a question
I'll wait
to
till your
these
time's
people
up.
who
I
have
do have
come
something
here.
else.
Lauren Boebert's ears perk up when she hears about urination for some reason. I don't know, even when no one's talking to her. So to answer, I'm sure many of y'all's questions is why are they talking about public urination, especially when this person she's grilling said, "Yo, whatever's happening is exactly the way that my stance stood, or actually the way that the vote went down." This hearing was held to discuss this crime in D.C., and Lauren Boebert was very upset about the potential urination in public, and that code was overturned last month that would decriminalize such a thing. So in this bizarre scene from this U.S. House hearing, these are the details of it, the far-right Republican Lauren Boebert asked if a revised D.C. criminal code was now law. And she was reminded, of course, that Congress overturned it earlier in the month. If only she was in Congress. But she was still fixated on it no matter what. So, I just want to point out to you guys really fast, and also, Benny, your thoughts on this. This is what they're wasting their time on. We talked about in Tennessee how they wasted their time on drag bills and limiting women's reproductive rights. All these types of things they've worked on hard, and since they've even gotten any kind of power. And then when folks get murdered and killed, they go, "Who knows? I can't do anything about it." Lauren Boebert now in the full Congress here, in the full Congress, is talking about urination constantly, because she wants to score some kind of political point that maybe get her back into office. Where's the work that's finally being done? Are they still proud of this woman? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole Republican platform right now at this point it doesn't make sense. It's disconnected from reality. Like their entire political strategy is literally just running on a campaign of like just hatefulness and conspiracy theories, right? They want to paint, oh, anybody who's a Democrat, anybody who's from any marginalized community, they're all like eating babies or something like that. And they're all creepers or something. And so that's probably why she's like hyper fixating on this whole notion of like, oh, public urination or whatever. I mean, there is like a real problem of like there just not being enough public bathrooms in basically every city like across the country, which is especially impacts like homeless folks and things like that. But it's just so weird to see them like hyper fixate. But that's what they do. That's what Republicans do. They pick one weird thing and then they just choose to like hyper fixate their entire existence on it. I mean, just look at Republicans across the country. They've decided to make their entire existence just going after trans people, right? And really, really hyper fixating on the existence of trans people, literally proposing bills to inspect the genitals of children to say whether or not they can play sports, right? These are not normal people, and they should not really be treated as like rational actors, right? Because fundamentally, at the end of the day, if they get something in their mind, they're not going to let it go, and they're not going to let reality get in their way.
Well, since you're talking about exposure and all that type of stuff, Lauren Boebert continues to have this fight because her husband had to settle over something very similar. Remember this headline? This is over from the Daily Beast. Lauren Boebert has to keep saying, "My husband did not flash his penis at a Colorado bowling alley." Yo, was he urinating or was he just flashing it for the purposes of people to look at? Because he did plead guilty to lewd exposure after he was accused of such a thing. But of course, she says he's innocent and all that same process. She claims in her memoir as well that no one could have known that the bartender the bartender that he apparently flashed his penis to, that she was a minor, and also added that the girl had pressed Jason to show her a great tattoo in a private area. Does that mean that he has to? Just wondering. I mean, he's a grown-ass man, but if a minor asks to see a tattoo in a very private area, I guess you just have to, especially when you want to. Just saying, in case you guys wonder who the real groomers are.